All right, so yeah, once broadcast gets in, does Rain Dance get played often? That is a good question. No. Yeah, earlier it was banned. It's been banned 4 out of 4 times today. So yeah, it doesn't get picked up. It does not get picked often. One of the songs that I don't think's been banned is Classical Thump. I don't think it's been banned yet. It's a very popular pick. It's something that I think a lot of players feel comfortable playing. It is certainly tricky, but it's not anything super insane compared to something like Eviscerate. But yeah, here we go. Song number 1. And this is going to be exciting, Daquin.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's going to be exciting. We'll see if Jolu can prevail against Josh.
Yeah, and of course, this is Josh's pick. And Josh is left-handed, or he plays lefty. Which is going to be interesting because I think he's the only lefty player in playoffs.
I think so.
Ooh, and we have first miss there, a couple misses from Jolu, who missed a phrase, actually, which is tough. So Atomic, he plays lefty, but not lefty flip. So I should correct myself. I think Josh is the only lefty flip player in playoffs.
Yeah.
And we should see Josh is killing it right now. He has not missed yet. And we should see an activation here. Beautiful. Yeah. Jolu, unfortunately, not able to activate.
Yeah, that missed activation is going to be crucial.
Yeah, I don't know if they know the path. If they do, they're going to have to improvise. If they don't, they might. I don't know. I don't know what you do at this point. You probably want to wait. You probably want to hold here.
Yeah.
And
I think in this situation, you would want to hold.
Yeah, there's a lot of SP coming up. It probably would do Jolu well to activate on the next phrase coming up. And Josh still holding through this.
Josh just dominating this first song.
Absolutely. And Josh activated a little later than you would expect. You actually want to activate earlier than that because his SP is going to carry through this sustain. But I mean, when you have an FC up to this point.
Yeah, when you have an FC, it's not really a worry.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a little less than a 20k lead, and you don't want to curse them, but it is, you got to point it out. I don't believe, has this been FC'd yet by anybody in tournament? If JRH picked this, then it was FC'd because JRH missed an Eviscerate and then FC'd the rest of the songs that they had. So this might have actually been FC'd by JRH. I'm not 100% sure if somebody can look back. Either way, if there has been an FC, there's only been one of it. So seeing one on stream would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, just seeing any FC on stream, it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, of any of these songs, if you're able to FC any of them on stream, it's definitely incredible.
Yeah.
But though Josh is on an FC and is pathing a little off with that one act, Jolu's still in this. Jolu could definitely turn this around. That miss isn't going to help, but still. And confirmation, JRH did FC this. And Josh is still rolling. Jolu did miss there, but did get the phrase. Oh, and Josh drops. Which, if Jolu had not dropped in SP, would have brought it a little bit closer, but it's still about the same as it was going into this section.
I don't think Josh is too worried, just right now.
Josh is he's a calm player. He is cool, calm, and collected. Nerfs don't really affect him that much. He has multiple full album FCs under his belt. So, you know, even if it's close, even if you're both FCing, he's keeping it calm. And that's going to suit Josh well. It typically does in tournament play.
Yeah, that's going to be a major advantage to Josh, just having that consistency.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, certainly one of the most consistent players around. You know, Demand pointing out 16, 17. Missing there, but that part is fairly tricky, and we're coming up toward the end where still, Holo Games is still staying in this. You can't call this yet.
Yeah.
And the activation spot on from Holo, but does miss.
Miss under the SP.
Yep. Oh, and then they did get the phrase, but the misses Josh holding at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you can go ahead and call it here unless Josh disconnects. Up until the end, it was close, but Josh will take this. Very solid score. Very solid score.
Just a very solid run in general.
Bozzy makes an interesting point. Bozzy has missed more songs in this than Josh has in the entirety of Forever Saga. And if anybody not familiar with Forever Saga, it is like an 11.5-hour compilation of Arion. I think that's how you pronounce them.
Yeah.
Arion songs, and it's a ridiculous amount of total notes. It's like I think it's like I don't know the specific number off the top of my head, but it is a ridiculous thousands upon thousands. I think the highest note streak on there is close to 20K.
Oh.
I feel like there's more than that. Yeah, 134,000 notes. Yeah, Bozzy, he's got it. Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount. And Josh in a run has only missed 29 of them.
Wow.
It is ridiculous that that a human has gotten that close to an FC of Forever Saga. That's just beyond insane. All right. Yeah, 44 million is about like your average score you'd see. I think Josh is closer to the 50 million mark. I think it is theorized that 50 million is possible, but you would have to have an inhuman run. You'd basically have to FC it to get 50 million, something like that. And here we go, Omega Wave.
Mega Wave.
And Daquin, this is a really interesting pick. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're trying to stay away from the solo songs.
Maybe. I mean, with them probably just knowing how consistent Josh is, they want to stay with stuff that they're strong at, but also just stuff that Josh will most likely miss.
Yeah, I think you would be right. And going back to the possible tiebreaker situation, since two strums were banned, then that would mean that the solo tiebreaker would be off the table. It would be either the strum or the hybrid, which is interesting. So we haven't seen the strum tiebreaker yet, and both players still on an FC.
The very similar activation too.
I think Holu has definitely looked at the paths at the very least somewhat, because their activations have been pretty spot on.
Yeah.
So you gets more whammy.
Wow.
That's significant, actually.
That's gonna be a few extra notes for Holu.
Oh yeah, that 4% difference here. That's pretty significant, and 6% now. Oh my goodness! And activation should be coming. Oh, Josh with the first drop.
With the man.
And we should see the activation now. Beautiful. Oh my goodness! And Holu holds through that. Okay, all right, folks. And look at the difference in score here that you're going to see. Wow. Josh is going to end. Holu lasted. That gained him probably an extra 2-3K in points.
Yeah.
Taka is going to map for us. Now, remember, Demand, Josh did miss before that activation, so it wasn't quite. Yeah, 7-8 notes, that does make sense. Which is, at this level is very significant. It really is. Activation from both. Josh went a little early.
Ooh,
missing.
Drops.
And just like that. Oh, and it drops again. Ooh. Josh takes the lead. And Holu's advantage is gone, but it is still super close. Can we get some Omegas in chat? Chat.
Not what you want to see if you're Holu right now.
No. That's a miss. A couple misses there that can shake you up mentally. What you have to do, you gotta shake it off. You gotta, focus on what lies ahead because it's certainly not over. You need to hope that maybe Josh isn't super proficient at the solo and just. They both activated a little early. I opt for a little bit later than that. I'm actually not sure. There are different activations in here. I know that I opt for a slightly later one. Somebody ban GMS. Thank you. Oh, interesting. Interesting talk. I do the 50-50 path, so mine's a little bit later than that. Pinned? Pinned? What is this?
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I also want to give a shout out to our player base and fans from either Mexico or South America, the Spanish or Mexican community, Latina, whatever you are, coming out here in support of our players that are from those areas playing in this tournament. And both players playing very well through the solo. The solo is extremely tricky.
Oh,
dropping it. But does get the SP.
Yeah. And that's the important part.
Yes.
SP is everything. And
unless you miss it.
Yeah.
And Josh holding very strongly through the solo.
Josh with a little bit more SP.
Now, it is interesting because while Josh did get enough for now. Oh, Josh did drop. It dropped twice. Hold on now, folks. Now, you want to have your activation up here. Josh goes a little earlier than you normally would. Jolu is going to go right about now. Oh, interesting. Waiting.
Oh, it's holding.
Oh, and then dropping.
Misses right in there.
Oh, that you did not want to hold. You didn't want to hold there because you're missing out on so many more points that you could have had. Yeah, so you're going to get SP here. There's going to be one more. And at the end, it's negligible. But because of the point difference, Josh has a heavy advantage. Because unless Josh drops multiple times in the end strumming or drops the SP, which he didn't, Jolu's in trouble. And here we come up to the final activation. Josh would actually want to go slightly earlier than you normally would. That's probably about fair. Jolu's going to go about now. And Josh might end just before. Oh no, that's actually perfect.
Wow.
And there we have it. Josh taking Jolu's counter pick to make it a 2-0 game. And Josh, -1.
I mean, Josh was just able to bring it back. He stayed consistent. And, he did what he had to do.
Both of them played extremely well on this song. This is a very tough one to be consistent at because that strumming can certainly trip you up. That solo is not easy by any capacity. A true hybrid of hybrids, if you will. But yeah, 2-0. And as I've said before, you guys have probably heard me say it in casting, that when it's a 2-0 match, it is certainly not out of reach. When it becomes a 3-0 match, you're almost certainly at a point where you will likely lose the match because we have not yet this season see somebody come back 3-0. We have seen it in the past. It's just very rare, but we have not seen it. Yeah, we've seen 3-1. I think we've seen 3-1 twice. Yeah, the big one that comes to mind is, as we've pointed out, MJ's going to hate me because I pointed out every time when Locky came back to beat MJ and MJ was up 3-1. So it does happen. Guys, to make it up, if you guys could please do me one favor. If you do anything tonight, give MJ a follow. He is one of the nicest people in the community, super entertaining. He is killing it on TikTok. He's coming over to Twitch to make a name for himself. He's definitely coming to the CSC community, and he's made a name for himself. He is just a wonderful person overall. And I know we rag on him every now and again with that result, but truly a nice guy. And so yeah, please give him a follow. Thank you. So yeah, going into the sad piano. Daquan, how do you feel about this song?
I mean, it's a difficult one for sure. I usually trip up on these sustains where you have to whammy, and It's just difficult, and Josh activates, which...
So that is very early because you want to have, actually, he might be going for the squeeze path. So what you want to do is you want to have 100% SP at the end rather than activating where most people would, and you'll have like 94% whammy if you manage to get all of it. So you'll lose a little bit of points early, but you can make up for it later on.
I mean, if Josh hits that, it's...
If you can hit everything,
yeah,
it works to your advantage.
It's gonna be just amazing to see.
And right now, I don't know if it's just purely SP, but it does look like Jolu is getting more out of the sustains than Josh is. Again, it could just be because of SP, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Classical Thump was the first song, and then Omega at 110. Ooh. All right, so yeah, Jolu getting just under, 94. And you want to hold right about, it's right after the quad, going a little early. Interesting. Maybe my path. Oh, and both dropping.
Jolu with the drop.
Josh also too. Dropping. Still, one drop from both. They both got the SP because you do want to get that overlap. There are only 3 activations in this entire song, which is insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
There's one more active variant.
Josh with the drop twice.
So right now, that, because Jolu activated where you normally would, is actually working in their favor. Both of them dropping right now, still about a 10k difference, both getting the SP. It is still anybody's game right now.
Has Jolu found Josh's weakness?
It would appear so, and Josh missing again, where Jolu is still holding. Look at this note streak that they're building up, and this is one of the worst parts of the song right here.
And he...
both getting the SP, but Jolu,
wow.
Only 2 misses through there. Very solid score. Pause champ in the chat. Look at this. I think we might see a 2-1 game on our hands.
It's certainly possible.
And there's one more phrase. And we'll see if both players... Josh going really early. Way too early. You want to activate right now, which is where Jolu did, because Josh's SP is going to end well before the song does. So unless Jolu heavily bombs right here, Jolu's going to take it. Because you see Jolu's SP is carrying all the way to the end.
Yeah, Jolu is taking
there. You have it. Beautiful counter pick from Jolu. My goodness. Anytime anybody gets over 400k on this song, it's impressive. It really is, because the endurance required to maintain all the way through that song. A -7. Jolu is here to stay. That is a statement. Absolutely.
He's definitely trying to come back, and I mean, let's see how he does in Josh's pick.
So we've seen one pick from Josh. Lucky one-handing is typically the play on that. I actually tap in 3 places, but I do one-hand the majority of it. So yeah, we saw Classical Thump from Josh, and it does appear that Josh, even though he left the solos open, I think that's because he wanted to try to force the strum tiebreaker. I think that's what the goal was. So we might see Rain Dance potentially, or Viscerate. Viscerate might be a good one. Okay, we are back in, and just to reiterate, Mulberry Mouse is the pick. 2-1 match in favor of Josh. Okay, here we go. Sorry for that. Technical issues, they do happen, but we are back in it.
Yep, back in it. Back to see who's gonna take this precious 4th song.
Yeah, this is going to be big, because you're either going to have a 2-2 match, which will reset everything essentially, or it'll be 3-1 in Josh's favor. All right, so the players have swapped sides now.
Yes.
All right. Now, this song, if you haven't seen it before, extremely tricky. Josh does drop. Jolu dropped earlier, so we're still basically neck and neck.
Jolu drops again.
Yeah, Yeah, Trist, I understand. It's unfortunate when players join, don't take the hint that they don't want to play with them. And right now, Josh is holding, I don't want to necessarily say fairly strong, but better. They are holding better than Jolu at the moment.
And I think Holu's just going to have a hard time with the song just because Josh is, he stays calm and collected, especially during these tricky parts of the song. I think he'll have a better time than Jolu.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now Josh is playing just more proficient overall. This part here, I think this is chorus 3. This is super tricky. This right here is the hardest part for me in the whole song. It's such a pain to play, and Josh just nails it, no problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right. Jolu is struggling with this one, certainly more so than Josh was earlier. Seems like Josh has found a rhythm. And I don't think Jolu knows the path to this. Now, my path is slightly different than most players because of the way I play it. That seems about right there from Josh, because you want to get most of that in there. Yeah, you want to end right around the sustain, maybe get a little whammy in there, but if you don't get any additional SP extension, it's no big deal. And we are about almost 3/4 of the way through the song with a point discrepancy of a little over 30k in Josh's favor. Jolu is trying to hold on, but the misses are piling up at this point.
Yeah. At this point, Josh is I think he's just holding too strong.
Yeah, and Josh did miss the SP there, but you want to activate normally. You do want to activate before the last SP because you can get a full phase off of the whammy. I personally can't, so I don't opt for it. I will actually activate through this whole section here, and it carries through the majority of the outro. But Josh does not actually get it.
So close.
So if this were closer, that could have been a detriment to Josh.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, with the song just coming to a close, Josh will win this one pretty convincingly. But against someone else who might get that phrase, that could have been bad.
Yeah, definitely.
So
in the later rounds, getting that phrase is going to be crucial.
If I'm Josh, I'm taking that into practice to try to see if I can hold that through and whammy enough to get that phrase. But yeah, we have a 3-1 match. Jolu is in a very detrimental position where Jolu has to win their counter pick, and then they have to win against Josh's pick.
Yes.
Just to force tiebreak.
And I think if I had to assume what Jolu might pick, I think he's probably going to go with the solo.
I think so. I think eviscerate.
He goes with the hybrid.
Interesting.
I mean,
so what might be happening is they might be forcing Josh to have to play one of the solo songs, which as we saw, Jolu is very proficient in. But Jolu has to win this pick for that to happen.
Yeah, I think in this situation, I wouldn't pick the hybrid, but I mean, let's hope that Jolu is confident enough in this song to beat Josh.
MJ, you see that? It's 3-1. Anything can happen at 3-1.
And Josh is holding strong through the tricky part.
Yeah, yep. It definitely seems like, yo, TFG, what is up? How are you doing? Glad to have you here. Another very talented female player in the community. She is absolutely destroying it on Twitter right now. The stuff that she's posting is just absurd.
TFG is insane.
That's part of the song. Oh, it is so good. And right now we have a 20k, almost 30k discrepancy in points. This is very, very tricky. Both players struggling slightly here.
Yeah.
And, The thing with this song is up until the end, and that's actually, I just realized that Jolu might have picked this because maybe they're really good at the outro. So Josh could end up building a 50k lead and lose it all in the outro.
Yeah.
I think that this could actually be a very smart pick from them, if that is correct.
And remind me, what's the outro like?
The outro is absurd. It is, you have essentially 4 iterations of the same, oh goodness, it's almost the same 180 notes approximately. Yeah, it's a lot of sweeps with some chimneys thrown in. It's very awkward to method out. Dean, no, the outro is a pain in the ass. And this is coming from someone who has FC'd the outro in a run. It's a pain in the ass. And activation, both of them did very well there. That's about where you want, because you want this overlap. Now, originally, this song was at 115, and nearly everybody in the playoff field voted to bring it down to 110. That just shows how crazy of a difference 110 and 115 is, because at 110, it's more on par with the other songs in the field. And both players having a very solid note streak. Well, as I say that, Josh has a very solid note streak right now. And again, about 40k difference, but the song is not over.
Yes.
Until the outro.
Near over. And I mean, see if Jolu practiced it. And if he'll do better than Josh, who's more calm and more collected.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where if you don't have the outro down, you're gonna miss all over the place. Unless you're just at that point skill-wise where you just naturally can take to something like that, or you can just one-hand the whole thing, which some people can. But most players, and we're about to see it right here. This is the first of 4. And it looks like right now Josh is actually holding stronger. Jolu's dropped a few times. Josh has not. Do they make it through? They make it through the first wave. Folks, I think this might be it.
Okay.
With Josh showing the absurd consistency through this. MJ, you better get a good look.
Okay.
Right now, Jolu, I think, really has not climbed. It's about a 40k difference. I think they may have brought it back slightly, but Josh is absolutely insane. This, I believe, is the last iteration of it.
Yeah, I think it's too late for Jolu.
That is it.
I mean, well played to Jolu.
Yeah, actually missing less notes.
Yeah.
So it seems like in the outro, Jolu did play a little better. Unfortunately, it wasn't during SP, and Josh played just well enough to not only hold the lead, but I think slightly extended. I think it might have been the same through there. But yes, that is the match 4-1. Josh will move on. Jolu will go on to face Atomic in the lower bracket, and the loser of that match is out. Done. You go home.
I think both of them will have to practice.
I think it's going to be a really, really interesting one. I would give the edge to Atomic, but hey, the last time I gave the edge to Atomic, MJ just smacked him. So we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. But really.